Namaste, I welcome you all to the Tehai concept in Tabla playing, lecture 10. Today we will discuss the Tehai in Tabla playing. Let's see how the stalwarts have defined the Tehai. We are going to see some definitions by experts. So, first definition we have from Pandit Sudhir Mindkar, who was a stalwart musicologist from Delhi Gharana, disciple of Ustad Inam Ali Khan Sahab. So, according to him, when the same composition of special syllables played 3 times with the same rest period reaches sum, then it is called Tehai. So, same composition of special syllables. So, Tehai's syllables according to Pandit Sudhir Mindkar are special. Second definition we have from Pandit Amod Dange, who is a Tabla exponent. Any group of bowls, the last of which is usually dha, which is played thrice and takes 2 similar pauses, and the last dha is played at the pre-planned place, such a group of bowl is known as a Tehai. So, it is a detailed definition by Pandit Amod Dange. He says group of bowl and out of last, which usually it is a dha. So, group of bowls ending with dha and 2 similar pauses. Then we have the third definition, which is collected from tablalegacy.com, an online source. A Tehai is a composition in which a phrase is repeated 3 times with 2 equal pauses to arrive on a designated position, usually but not necessarily the sum. Now, we can see in this definition, apart from sum, the Tehai can land on designated point or designated position, or in Hindi we say the graha in avartan, any graha in avartan. So, graha is basically a matra. So, Tehai can start from any matra and it can end at any matra. Usually the Tehais end on sum. Fourth definition from digitabla.com. So, what digitabla.com says, any phrase which is played 3 times usually ending on the sum with the stroke dha. So, it is a short definition. So, dha is emphasized and any stroke dha which is played 3 times, a phrase which is played. We have 5th definition from tabhibola.com. Generally, the composition ending with dha is played thrice at equal intervals, and when the last dha comes on the sum or at the desired place, the composition is called Tehai. So, in all the definitions, we have seen that Tehai is basically 3 phrases with equal proportion divided by 2 equal rests or equal pause. So, this is the basic concept, basic idea of Tehai, and the end point of Tehai is targeted as sum or any designated point in the avartan. So, let us see the characteristics of a Tehai. So, we have 3-fold repetition. A Tehai always consists of a rhythmic phrase that is repeated 3 times with equal or proportional division of beats, ending on some pre-planned point. The final beat of the last repetition lands precisely on the sum, the first beat of the rhythmic cycle. This placement gives the Tehai a conclusive grounded feel, often serving as a resolution point in the performances. Mathematical precision. Creating a Tehai requires careful calculations. The total number of beats in the three parts must fit within the cycle in a way that the phrase resolves on sum. This involves understanding subdivisions and syncopations with the rhythmic structure. Aesthetic balance. Tehais are not just rhythmic exercises, they are designed to be pleasing and impactful. This balance often requires a mix of complex rhythmic structures with a sense of ease and flow. Variety in complexity. Some Tehai patterns are straightforward, while others can be highly intricate using subdivisions and usual phrasing. The complexity depends on the tal rhythmic cycle and the artist's skill level. Improvisational potential. While Tehai structures follow specific rules, there is a room for improvisation. A performer can craft unique Tehais spontaneously, showing off their rhythmic command and creativity. So, improvisational component is always involved in playing all type of Tehais. It depends upon the artist's skills and the command on lay which he can manipulate the Tehai during the performances. Placement in performance. Tehais are commonly used at the end of a solo, a composition, or to transition between sections, as they create a sense of closure and emphasize the sum powerfully. So, basic purpose of sum is to emphasize the sum powerfully. Let us see what is the provision of Tehai. In tabla playing, the provision or usage of Tehai is crucial for adding structure, emphasis and rhythmic excitement to a performance. Here's how Tehai is used effectively in various contexts within tabla playing. Ending a composition or solo. Tehai is often used at the end of a composition, gat or tabla solo. It serves as a conclusive element, signaling the end of the section or performance by firmly landing on sum. This provides a clear sense of closure and satisfaction to the listeners. Transition between sections. A Tehai can be used as a bridge to shift from one section to another within a performance. For example, in tabla solo, a simple or complex Tehai may mark the end of an improvisational passage and prepare for the next thematic or tempo shift. Highlighting rhythmic cycles, that is tal. In Indian classical music, the tabla plays within the framework of tal. The Tehai serves to emphasize the structure of the tal by creating a rhythmic pattern that resolves on sum, making the tal more prominent and helping the audience grasp the structure. Creating dramatic effect. A well crafted Tehai, especially with the intricate phrasing and timing, can add dramatic flair to a performance. It brings attention to the skill of the artist and the precision required to align with the rhythmic of the accompanying musicians, building anticipation as the Tehai leads to the sum. Enhancing the aesthetic appeal. Tehais are an artful combination of mathematical rhythm and aesthetic flow. Their repetition and resolution provide a cyclical beauty that resonates with audience, blending technicality with musicality, building tension and release. Because the Tehai is a repeated phrase, it creates a sense of expectations with each repetition, especially when executed with variations or syncopation. These patterns of tensions building to a final release on the sum adds emotional depth to the rhythm, demonstrating mastery and creativity. Crafting and performing Tehai is a way for tabla players to showcase their skills, understanding of rhythm and improvisational abilities. Advanced tabla players may develop complex Tehai spontaneously, which demonstrates their creativity and deep understanding of the timing. So, this is how we have seen the provision of Tehai in tabla playing. Now, structure of Tehai. When we talk about the structure of Tehai, basically as seen in our all the definitions in the beginning of this lecture, Tehai is basically a three phrase which is equally proportionate. It does not mean that one first phrase should be of different matra, it should vary the second phrase or third phrase. So, equally divided phrases should be there and two equal pauses, that is dam. So, it is a three phrase plus two pauses with equal proportion, that is a Tehai, which makes total of 5 parts. So, basically Tehai is a 5-part composition, and you can see the design of a Tehai. So, it is a first we play the phrase, then there is a pause, dam plus phrase plus pause plus phrase. So, 2 dam and 3 phrases. So, basically 3 phrases, 3 equal phrases divided by 2 equal dam. This is the design of a Tehai. So, let us see the design of a Tehai. So, I will explain, we can have some examples of a Tehai. So, basically it is a phrase plus dam plus phrase plus dam plus phrase. So, phrase, dam, phrase, dam and phrase. So, suppose we have phrase of 3 matra, dam of 1 matra, then all the phrases will be equally divided, proportionate. So, 3 dam should be equally divided, 1 matra and again 3 matra. So, the structure of Tehai, this structure of the Tehai becomes 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 is equals to 11 matra. So, this can be a Tehai of Tal Rudra. Rudra Tal. Now, if we want to write a Tehai, we will take an example of Tal Keherwa. Keherwa, which is 8 matra tal. So we write dha dha tinna, dha dha tinna, dha. This is our dam, and dha dha tinna, dha. And I will write it here, dha dha tinna, dha. So as per our structure of the Tehai, so dha dha we will write in notation. So notation we have seen in our prior lectures of, so this is Pandit Bhatkhande notation system. We are writing this Tehai in Pandit Bhatkhande notation system. So this is Tal Keherwa, and first we will try to understand the structure. So dha dha tinna dha plus okay. So this will be our division. Sum sign and the khali sign, and this will be again our sum. So dha dha tinna 2 plus 1. So two, and pause is 1. So that is repeated 2 pauses and 3 times the phrase. So the final structure will be 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. 8 matra. So you can see, so this is our structure of the Tehai. Tal Keherwa, and the upper one we have seen the Tal Rudra Tehai. So I hope you have understand this structure of Tehai design, phrase plus pause plus phrase plus pause plus phrase, that will land on the sum. So 11th will be the sum, and 8th, this is 9th beat will be the sum in the case of Keherwa Tal. So we have types of Tehai. Basic 2 types of Tehai we have. Damdar Tehai. Damdar Tehai is a Tehai with rest, and the second part we have Damdar Tehai, which is without pause. Without pause, it doesn't mean that it doesn't contain a pause. It contains a pause, but which is very short in span, or it's a short rest or short pause with a short period of pause. So pause in Tehai, in Damdar Tehai, the pause proportion should be greater than half matra. So 3/4 matra, 1 matra or 1.5 matra will be a Damdar Tehai, and in Bedam Tehai the pause proportion should be at least of half matra or less than half matra, that is 0.5, 1 by 4. This pause, Tehai with this pause will be a Bedam Tehai, and it is a misconception that Bedam Tehai has no pause. Even though I am saying that Tehai without a rest or interval is a Bedam Tehai, but it does not mean that it is without a pause. Of course, it has a pause included in itself. The pause compared to Damdar Tehai is very short. So, let us see the example of Damdar and Bedam Tehai. So, first we see Damdar Tehai, that is phrase plus pause plus phrase plus pause plus phrase. So, in Damdar Tehai, these pauses, two pauses will be, it will be greater than .5 matra. So, this will be a Damdar Tehai, and in, so these pauses, this pause can be of 0.75 matra or 1, 1.5, etc., but not 0.5 matra or less than it. Then we have Bedam Tehai, Bedam Tehai. So, Bedam Tehai will be phrase plus pause plus phrase plus pause plus phrase. So, these two pauses, will be either they will be 0.5 pause or less than 0. So, 0.25 or 0.125. So, this we call is at 1 by 2, 1 by 4, this is 1 by 8 matra pauses. So, this is how we have the structure of Bedam Tehai. I hope so. You can see pause in a Tehai, Damdar Tehai and Bedam Tehai. So, this is how we have seen Damdar and Bedam. I hope you have understood the concept of Tehai, its types, basically two types, Bedam, Damdar Tehai, and its pause used in Damdar and Bedam Tehai is basically the Bedam and the Damdar structure is depend only on the factor of pause. So, pause matters a lot in, it plays a major role in defining a Tehai. So, I hope you have understood this concept of Tehai, Bedam and Damdar. Thank you.